Point your toes. How many times do you hear this phrase during the practice? Actually, it doesn't matter, because if you do pole dance, this video will be helpful for you anyway. So stay with me. I'm FlexiKate, and in today's video I'm going to share with you really effective exercises for your feet, for your ankles, to have this beautiful arch in all the elements and tricks you are doing on the pole.
As a warm-up, I always like to massage my feet a little bit. It feels really nice, and at the same time it shows you the full range of motion of your feet. And while we are warming up, let me tell you a little bit why is it so important to work with your feet regularly, and why all of us should point our toes while performing on the pole.
A beautifully arched, pointed foot is like a cherry on top of every single trick, spin or pose you do on the pole. It really makes a difference. So my advice is to put a little bit of effort in making your feet look really professional when you pole dance. And I totally understand that without dancing or gymnastics background, it's actually quite complicated to figure out whether you point your feet or you don't, whether you do it in a full range of motion or not. It's hard, really hard. The problem is that we don't have this dexterity with our feet. And what it means that we don't have this mind-body connection with our feet. Our body at some point forgets that we actually can move our toes separately, because in our daily life we do not need that. And if we don't need something, our body just gets rid of it. And the good news is that we actually can re-educate our mind-muscle connection by doing these mobilizing and strengthening exercises for our calves, ankles and feet, and help our brain to recall that we actually have these tiny muscles and we want them to start working again.
So let's start. The first exercise, I call it high heels. It's very simple. Just lift your heels off the floor one by one and make sure that you press onto your big toe here, making this beautiful arch of your feet one by one. It's still a warming up exercise, that's why make sure that you do at least 12-15 reps of it. The second exercise is a little bit more challenging. Here you need to lift both heels at the same time. Make sure that you squeeze your heels together, and in the same way you press into your big toes. And just to concentrate mostly on the technique of the exercise, it's better to use the pole or any other kind of support, so you don't need to think about balancing in this position. And as in our first exercise, it's better to perform it 12-15 times. Our feet already warmed enough, so in exercise number 3 we can already add this movement of creating a beautiful arch, hiding all of our toes here. When you are making this arch, make sure that you are still pushing mostly on your big toe, and at the same time you are turning the heel inside. Exercise number 4 is very similar to the first one. The only difference here is that you are standing in the second position, which allows you to concentrate more on pushing the weight onto your big toe, facing your heel inside during the whole exercise. Let's move on. And for the next drill, as you can see, I'm using the pole as an extra support, so I don't need to think about balancing. I can concentrate only on my arch of the foot. Be very gentle with your feet, especially if these exercises are new for you. To get faster results, my advice is to do at least 15-20 reps, and if you're already an experienced dancer or pole dancer, do 2-3 sets, 15-20 reps in each one. For the next 3 exercises, grab 2 blocks, or you can use the books if you exercise at home. Blocks will give you an extra support, so you can concentrate on pressing onto your big toes a little bit more here, and make sure that you do not separate your knees wide. It's better to keep them together, and also it would be great if you keep squeezing your heels in all of the exercises here. It's also very important to stretch your calves, flexing the foot, and at the same time extending the knee as far as it can go, which is also super important for beautiful lines on the pole. And let's do one more exercise for stretching the calves. So place your toes on the block as if you're holding it with your toes. Keep lifting the heel up and then gently pressing it down, extending the knee. The next exercise is personally my favorite one. Let's place the foot in such a way that you hide your toes, creating this beautiful arch, and press with another leg on the heel. Be very gentle with yourself here, especially if you do this exercise for the first time. At the beginning, it's better to put a little bit more weight on your hands to the front, and then step by step you can make it a little bit more challenging, transferring most of your weight on your big toes. And the next exercise is a logical continuation of all previous ones. Here we just lift the hips up, trying to put as much weight on the big toes as we can at the moment. Remember to keep squeezing your knees, squeezing your heels together, and if you feel comfortable you can add a little bit of walk there. For the next 2 exercises we will need a tiny towel, and it's the perfect way to build this mind-body connection with your toes. It will teach you to move all your toes separately and to point your feet not only from the middle part of your foot, but also from your toes. And the last, but of course not the least exercise, is just flexing and pointing your feet. And when you flex your feet, try to engage your quadriceps, extend your knees as far as they can go, and try to even lift your heels off the floor.
Guys, thank you very much for watching, and if you find this video useful, please share some love and subscribe to my channel as more videos are on the way. And as usual, feel free to connect. You can find me on Instagram or simply in the comment section below. I'll be super happy to chat with you guys. Take care and see you on my next videos.